This Gondorian outpost is under siege by a force from Mordor. Can the men of Dol Amroth hold the line, or will this city fall to the Dark Lord? Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to another glorious Rise of Mordor online battle. Today we are on this epic custom map, which I think is set in the east parts of Gondor. We're also using the Lord of the Rings submod that is made on the Steam Workshop, which adds in a ton of new factions, one of which being the return of Dol Amroth. So it's going to be exciting to see how the men of Dol Amroth can fare against the forces of Mordor and Isengard. As well as that, the submod does add in a handful of new units for all these factions, so I definitely recommend you using it if you're planning on playing some Rise of Mordor, and as I said again, I will link it down below in the description. But as this battle does get underway, let's just take a quick look at this awesome custom map. I really love the design of it, and as I keep on saying in these battles, this is what Rise of Mordor need to do. They need to add in loads of custom maps into the game for people to play. Campaign is so far away, but I think the best way to drive, popularity and support for this mod is just having so many cool custom maps that people can jump on and play. Adding in more architecture will just be so great, and I think it will really help foster a great community. So I really hope that the map makers keep on pumping out maps, especially maps like this, which is really cool. I love the way he's designed like these dockyards, and with the limited architecture they have, it's really cool. So hopefully more architecture gets added to the game, and more and more maps are made like this, because as I said, it's a really awesome map. I'm a huge fan of it. I really am. Very cool stuff. And if we take a quick look, you have kind of this really cool fortress out the top of a hill. I want to assume this is like a barracks of some sort. And it's really strategic as well, because I'll go on slow mo actually whilst the battle starts, because as these guys assault forward, they obviously want to try and break down this defense right here and kind of bypass these walls here. However, if they don't take care of this mini kind of barracks fortress, they're going to be getting absolutely peppered by the archers which are up on the hill. So they kind of have to take out this barracks, which I think is a really interesting design, because normally you would just think, oh well, there's no wall here, we'll leave this and just smash through here. But if you do, you're going to get absolutely destroyed by the archers. So yeah, it's a really good map design, and I'm a big fan of it. And then over on this left hand side, obviously you've got these docks, you've got these like street fighting, lots of little avenues to fight. You've got these really cool barracks which remind me of Battle for Middle Earth. I'm sure you guys can feel the same. These look like the archery ranges from Battle for Middle Earth. And then, they have the final stand right here where the kind of the farming is set. And I've been a big advocate of, how do these people live? How do these people in the settlement get food? You could say, oh, maybe it comes from the docks. But no, it comes from the farms out here. This is how the people live. They get grain and food from these farms. So yeah, great map design. Hopefully we can see lots more like it. Then for the battle, we have, obviously Dol Amroth with a handful of new units added to their roster. We have these coastal sea watchmen, which again are looking pretty cool. Good marine infantry. As we go further back, we have kind of more of the armored militia with these cool looking kite shields. A nice kite shield design. I haven't seen that before, so that's pretty impressive. We then obviously have the more heavily armored dismounted Talon Knights, looking very cool. And then we also have the mounted cavalrymen back here. Obviously Dol Amroth are going to be known for their heavy cavalry. We have some of the Heaven Guard right here. Great swords, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing more cavalry laying around. Yeah, where's the Dol Amroth general with their heavy Swan Knights back here? Yeah, we have the Talon Knights back here again. Looking very bloody. And I love the way that they've kind of got like chainmail over their face as well. It's a really nice design. So yeah, cool. Let's just get this battle underway. The Mordor forces in Isengard are assaulting. I believe Mordor is on the right-hand side and Isengard is on the left-hand side. So yeah, let's just get this battle started and we'll see how it goes down. So it looks like this orc rabble was thrown up first to kind of soak up some ammunition, and then the order was given for the archers to actually hold their archer fire, because yeah, you don't want to waste it on orc rabble. They're so cheap and worthless that you just want to save your ammunition for something a bit better. They're kind of just up here to kind of secure the battlefield, allow it so they can get their siege equipment up here along with their artillery. And I think the artillery is being brought up to make a breach in this wall, which again is a really smart idea, because it will just allow you to take out this settlement a lot quicker than usual. Then over for Isengard. Isengard are currently looking just to overwhelm the walls. They're getting their Urukai up on these walls. There's a handful of Sea Watchmen up here, which are going to be trying to repel them as best as they can. I'm not sure how successful this assault is going to be, or this defense is going to be, but as long as they slow them up, that's all that really matters. At the end of the day, we're not looking to really slaughter them. Also in the, I think it's in the coming patch. The patch has been delayed quite a lot because they're planning on adding in a ton more stuff. They have a few more models being added in, a few more armor sets. But it was either in the latest patch or the patch coming pretty soon. They've added in LODs for, because I'm playing on a beta patch of this mod, which isn't out yet to the public. But yeah, they added in LODs for Isengard to make their performance a million times better now. So you should be able to run a much bigger battles with Isengard, which is great. Because I think beforehand it was only Gondor which had decent working LODs. I think it was like 5 separate LODs, which just helped performance out a ton. But now that Isengard have it, it should really, you know, help the performance of battles. Oh, we're also getting the half-orc axes coming down as well off of the side, and that's going to be a great way to really kind of take over this gatehouse, especially if you push Uruk-hai spears through the main part of the gatehouse. You can quickly overwhelm this and take it, but the burning oil is going to be a very scary thing because, yeah, that can do some serious damage. Yeah, there's also, if you go over to the Rise of Mordor Discord, it's pretty easy to find. You probably just Google it. They constantly release images of new work they're doing. And they dropped a couple images of some really cool axes that they're working on to, I guess, replace these current ones or add in more variants of these current ones. It looks really cool. They showed a ton of really cool Easterling stuff as well. The Easterlings update is going to be really good. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So the assault has kind of kicked off over here, but even for, like, the Orc Rabble are just so bad. I think they need a small buff, because at the moment they just do literally no damage. And they should at least kind of wear down a unit. I know these guys are like trained infantry up against levies, but, you know, they should still lose some men. And I feel like at this point, having like, you know, like losing an entire 260 orcs, not killing a single dude, it is pretty bad. You know, the rabble should at least be able to kill, you know, 10 guys. I don't ask for much, but 10 guys I think would be a good point for them to, you know, rack up the kills. Has the artillery been brought up? The artillery hasn't been bombarding any of these walls. They hit a little bit, but I think they held their fire, just realizing it would take the entire ammunition. And now they're just going to move up the rest of their infantry to try and silence that. The wall fighting actually looks like that the men of Dol Amroth have advanced forward a little, quite a few more men. They've detached quite a large amount of men on the walls, and this was really nice work. I love the way that they incorporated stairs into the walls. I think this was one of the last things that Jox did before he left the project, and it was just really cool. Like, I love the way that you have men on the stairs. It just makes so much more sense than them just teleporting. I also really dig the way, oh, we have artillery coming in though. I really dig the way that the archers are set up here. It's a really nice move here with the rangers. They have a great kind of side vision over there. Oh, and they also haven't taken out this Gondorian trebuchet either, so the Gondorian trebuchet is still bombarding the units back there. I mean, that's pretty decent. The archers, though, have now been brought up, and they're going to be peppering away at the defenders who are waiting behind, hitting these levy infantrymen. You can see they've already lost 3 men there. So it's a smart move there, especially now that the walls have basically been rid of archers. You can move up these Uruk-hai bowmen and just let them pepper arrows over the walls pretty effectively. Our artillery shot goes out. Is it going to find anything big? Oh, I did hit. I hit directly on some of these Uruk-hai infantry. So yeah, overall, these trebuchets are pretty useful. Unfortunately, that one not finding its mark. Oh, but a retaliation artillery hit. That was direct on the militia infantry. Again, the 2 units of rabble are still trying. Yeah, like this. I think this has changed, and I just haven't got the latest patch, updated patch. But yeah, like this shouldn't be a thing ever. Like, I don't care if you have the strongest infantry in the world, but it should still lose a handful of men to these numbers, you know. Otherwise, what's literally the point of bringing them if they don't do any damage, even if they are cheap? So yeah, I think that's something that is being changed or has been changed, but just don't quote me on that. Oh, the archers are focusing down and slaughtering the Uruk bowmen, and these Uruk bowmen are pretty decently heavily armored. They are just taking so much damage right now. And yeah, they're having to get the hell out of there just because of these marksmen up on that hill are just unleashing bow after bow after bow. That's doing some serious damage. The rest of the infantry are going to try and reform quickly, get off the walls as quickly as they can, and I imagine this infantry is going to come up and replace them. I think you can actually get up on these fort walls as well back here, because it looks like you can. There are stairways, so yeah, you could probably fall back your archers, put your infantry on the walls, and then stick your archers back here. Would be a very effective way. We're now getting, though, the elite Uruk Throng thrown up into the fight. These guys are going to be obviously charging in against these Sea Ward Spearmen and the other infantry. I mean, these Spearmen both seem pretty heavily armoured, but eventually they will break down, because these are no measly orcs. These are Uruks bred for a single purpose. How's the fighting over on this right-hand side? Yeah, so they're breaking up, and this is also a great move by the attackers. Getting your archers up on the walls just makes them so much more effective. You can do so much more damage when your archers get up on the walls, and it's a great way to break the defenders, especially as they tend to have a lot of choke points in these battles. So then getting your missiles up on the wall is a really easy way of just clearing up these defensive positions. And then what tends to happen in siege battles is as soon as one defensive position breaks, the other ones fall as well. It does seem like, though, that these axes were completely repelled, unless they were then re-maneuvered back up the hill and then down here. Yeah, it seems that they were taken down pretty handedly. It also looks like this part of the battlefield is going to break eventually. Obviously, they're losing this unit of Uruk infantry, but that was mainly just down to all these archers. I think once they get a couple more units of infantry up here, they'll be able to kill the rest of these infantrymen. The Coastal Sea Guard will break. The artillery and the archer fire is also doing considerable damage in back line. And they still have, like, so much infantry left up to commit. If we take a look at the numbers as well, so you can look at the forces of evil are the allied, and the forces of good are the enemy. The forces of good or evil have, 2,000 more men, basically. 1,800 more men. Or Uruks and Orcs, I should say, not men. So they definitely have a number advantage. And I think that all they need to do is just conquer this place over here, or break down a few of these positions. If they can get, Orcs through this way right here, which they should really be stacking up, maybe having some units preemptively ready to go. They want to just flood over these entrances and come in every single side, move men down here, move men across here, and then move men up to help secure the gate. We do have the Orcs, though, of Mordor breaking down this little barricade, fort, barracks, whatever you want to call it. They are throwing up, though, some Orc pillagers, which aren't the strongest units in the world, but these are, pretty okay at killing kind of cheaper units for the good side. The Axe Infantry, so they have good penetration. They just don't really have a lot of armor themselves. I also do note that the battle is really dark. I don't think there's much I can really do about that either, so sorry about that. We're kind of... Maybe that's a little bit better now. Yes, that's a bit better. But sorry, yeah, the battle is pretty dark, so I do apologise for that. The lighting in Attila is just absolutely gross. I wish the Attila lighting could get a update like the Rome 2 one did. Because the Rome 2 lighting now is pretty decent after the most recent update. So it'd be great if Attila could get that as well. You can really see the strength of Uruk Throng. These are like the strongest units of Mordor. Oh man, just imagine how strong Mordor are going to be when they get the Olog-hai and the Troll units, when they finally manage to work out how to get them in the game. That would just be so effective. It'd make them really deadly because, these Uruks are still pretty elite infantry. And it's great to see Mordor getting good infantry as well. I don't want Mordor just to be crap because they're Mordor and they should have numbers. That's not how it should work. Mordor did have good infantry. Speaking of which, we actually have some Sapper units. Now, I'm not sure how the Sappers work in this sub-mod. Back in the day, these Sappers used to make an insanely massive explosion. And I really hope they go back to that day. They just blow themselves up and they kill, like, everything around them. It was really awesome. I think they're looking to blow up this wall, and it's a little bit glitchy, but you can eventually get it to work. I think they're trying to blow up this wall, so I'm going to stick around here, because they still work effectively at destroying walls. They're obviously, like, supposed to represent... Here we go, they're going to do it. Yeah, there we go! Kaboom! That's what we like to see, boys. I mean, immediately, Uruk-hai come charging forward. This was a great move there, killing so much infantry. And now immediately they pull through. That's what I like to see. That's why we take these battles. These guys always present me with the greatest battles. So, massive shout out to everyone who played in this engagement. I really appreciate as well the battle replays. Some really awesome stuff. So the archers were actually brought outside of the battlefield, outside of the barracks, which is leaving them extremely vulnerable to all the Uruk missile fire coming in. They are obviously retaliating, and you know, these archers are very good. But they are taking a lot of damage here. A lot of maybe unnecessary damage. As this wall, you know, if they could have just kept 2 units of infantry to defend this, they could have still left archers up on the walls to help out. And right now, instead of shooting directly at the enemy, they're having to arc their shots, which does so much, you know, does a lot less damage. The infantry up here as well is holding, which is really good for them. The fact that they can keep the orcs at bay for as long as possible, because if this position falls, they're going to be in such a tricky position, because immediately, you know, the forces down there fighting Isengard are going to get completely overrun. So some units are getting thrown back. Oh, wow, a cavalry unit. How the hell did this cavalry unit get around here? Oh, I guess through here. Really nice move there by the Dol Amroth Cavalry. The mounted lancers coming in. Again, this unit looks very cool as well. Great move there by Dol Amroth, using the gap created here to come round and then rear charge. However, we are seeing that this line of infantry is getting very low, and it doesn't seem like there's much left. There's 2 units of infantry left. But yeah, these Seaward infantrymen are now being committed up here, as I say it, to reinforce these gaps. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. We do have some Uruk infantry, though, who have crumbled around the side there. And again, are fighting more men in the city. Oh, wow, these are actually berserkers. Oh, they need to be very careful. They need to be really careful, because these berserkers are a very great offensive unit. Oh, that archer, though. That archer, I don't know. I think it was the tower, maybe. Just absolutely smacked one of them in the back. Oh, the tower is starting to fall. Yeah, there's no infantry here for Dol Amroth. They're all fighting in front. If they can take these towers, that is going to be so big. It's also going to kill all of their own archers up here, though, so maybe they don't want to do it. Yeah, there's a lot of Mordor bowmen up here. I don't know if they want to do that. Yeah, it's just going back good. They stopped it because... Unfortunately, no, they're capping it again. This maybe isn't as good as it might sound. Because in some reason in Attila, when these towers get destroyed, they kill everything around it. I mean, I guess they are almost out of ammunition, and they are just Mordor bow rabble, which, you know, aren't really expensive. But still, every arrow counts in these type of battles. Over at the breach as well, which was created by the Sappers. We have the Uruk-hai infantry slowly grinding away against Dol Amroth. Inch by inch, they are making progress further inside of the city. Yep, there you go. It is so silly. Now, this sounds cool, right? It sounds cool when you destroy stuff, that it does all this damage. But I don't know. I felt like it was something really cool in theory, and it just wasn't practical in the game, and yet it was still in here. I honestly don't know why it is still in there, but... You know, maybe if artillery or the sappers destroyed it, it'd make sense to kill everything. But this unit literally just lost like 100 orcs for no reason, you know, because they captured a tower. Dol Amroth are really effectively holding on this left-hand side of their heavy infantry. I mean, Mordor still have a handful of pretty decent units left, but they're running low. They are running low indeed. They are also about to take this. Actually, not even. I think Dol Amroth might hold this, you know. They have a couple of units who have broken forward. Their pikes are being brought up now, but I just don't think Mordor have enough to win this completely. Yeah, they're committing everything they have now to this fight, looking to exploit this breach that they've made.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
But again, every unit of infantry that gets taken up here is one less to defend this position, especially now that the gate's been taken as well. Isengard can commit the rest of their infantry into this and really open up the breach. Because it's not like Dol Amroth really have a lot of men left. Only 2,800. They've closed the gap a little bit, but not massively. Actually, no, the gap stayed basically the same, which is great for the attackers. You know, the longer they keep that 2,000 orc advantage, eventually Dol Amroth is just going to run out of men. And they've also done a great outflank at the breach now, committing this unit of Urukai to the fight here. Very effective stuff. Oh, that was brutal, man. Decapitation. I think there's some archer fire coming in as well. Oh yeah, these guys are getting shot in the back from the Rangers. Oh yeah, the Rangers are way over here. They're going to be helping out as best as they can. Come on, unleash a volley, please. The YouTuber curse of just them never shooting. That was cool. And yeah, you can see they're just doing so much damage to that battle line. They're actually going to re-maneuver though, try and get out of there. I guess as more infantry is turned up. No, it's actually Dol Amroth coming back, yeah. Yeah, Dol Amroth have managed to secure this section, now they're maneuvering their men round. Also, why the hell are there a handful of bowmen over here? It seems kind of weird that they're positioned over there. Seems like they were just slaughtered by archer fire or something, yeah. Or maybe they just glitched out over there, who knows. It's so weird seeing the good guys in red. Normally, the good guys are always yellow in these battles. It's kind of weird. It's like I'm rooting for... the bad guys because they're in yellow. Good cavalry charge there by the Lancers, crushing into the ranks of Mordor. They're going to continue on going though, not breaking up this charge and again ripping through this archer unit. That I assume is out of ammunition. Imagine running amok using their superior cavalry skills, and I imagine immediately going into the back of them pikemen over there. Or maybe just trying to fall back because all the archer fire is now been turned onto them. Yeah, they're going to be charging into pikemen. The pikemen are going to try and turn, but just not quick enough now. And the Dol Amroth cavalry showing their worth. I mean, this is one of the problems when you don't have cavalry with Mordor quite yet. You know, there's no wargs in the game. It's very hard for them to really be effective. They also managed to smash into this unit of Ulrich Throng as well. The spearmen. I mean, the spearmen should take these guys out. They've got pretty long spears, so they should be able to kill a lot of these horses, especially with all this arrow fire coming in as well. They should be able to effectively support that. And are they going to win this? Yeah, they're starting to overwhelm the numbers, just with sheer numbers. They're really starting to envelop a lot of these forces from Dol Amroth. I'm still not certain that they're going to win this, but the Orcs are doing a great job. I think it's really up to Isengard. Especially now that this breach point has been taken. Yeah, we can see the breach has been secured. I think the men of Isengard can just really smash in here. Because the thing is, if they just engage this long line of infantry, there's so many routes around the back of them. And Dol Amroth just don't have the men whatsoever. Like, a lot of their men have been committed up here, I guess, to try and prevent this from happening. And the cavalry is now dead as well. Yeah, infantry is being abandoned from this fort as well. So if they were just to commit everything, engage this long line or this thin line, and then move infantry round the side of the streets, it would be a really smart way. And you could just completely envelop this infantry. Very effective stuff. These archers are still hidden. I wonder if they're going to try and go completely unnoticed. It'd be interesting if they could, because obviously the fighting will be happening right there. But, like, if they could hit them in the side, that'd be pretty effective. But if these guys do get scouted, I mean, the Isengard player does know that they're here as well, because they've seen them. So we'll have to see how this does go down. I mean, it might end up happening that this just gets abandoned and everyone falls back up to this hill, because, as you can see, the hill does have great defenses. So, and they could even maybe just retreat back inside of this fortress, because the barracks itself hasn't been taken by Mordor. But Mordor are committing a lot of infantry now. They've managed to kill the cavalry, basically. And now the last handful of their units are being brought up, especially with the support of the Orc Pikes as well. The Orc Pikes being committed are great. Man, I might need to end up turning off vegetation. because the orcs are a bit smaller than humans, they just kind of get like covered by them. Maybe if I turn off vegetation, it would be a lot better. But I mean, even the humans are, you know, this is a pretty big plant, right? I know the humans are like hunched over, but still. We're having some of the elite Dol Amroth infantry charging into the battle against the Uruk throng, the Uruk spears, the Uruk general being thrown up as well, as more and more of the battle lines do collapse. I mean, the Orcs have made a ton of progress, because originally this was where they were holding. They managed to break them back to this rock. Well, with the support of the archer fire as well, they might still be able to do some decent damage, because yeah, this entire unit of Uruk archers still has all its ammunition left, whereas Dol Amroth look like they're extremely low on ammo. Here we go, the Uruks of Isengard have advanced forward now. We are fighting a heavy, very heavy melee infantry though, so I'm not sure if they're going to be capable, but we've got a lot of archer fire coming in. But oh my god, killing so many of these rangers. And the rangers are just going to have to bug the head out of there. I really hope we see these streets being used. They're sending one lone berserker. Literally one lone berserker is going to go around the flank. He's just off on his own mission. But yeah, hopefully these Uruks get sent around the side as well. There's a very cool map as well. Even these streets look really cool. It's like our own personal tour guide right now. On your left, you can find some beautiful buildings that are used to store weapons. On the right, we have the archery ranges. And then just over here, we have a buttload of Dol Amroth cavalry, which are probably going to kill me. F in the chat, boys. F in the goddamn chat for our tour guide. Man, what a poor soul. He just wanted to show us the glorious sights of this Gondorian city. Unfortunately, though, he did not quite make it. He made it into, like, the district, the archery district, but did not make it any further. I really wonder, I wonder if the Orcs are going to be able to break through this, honestly. Because they seem to be putting up a pretty, you know, hard fight, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough. Because as you can see, the battle lines are like pretty drawn out. I really like this militia unit as well. I love the design of the shield. It's a very cool, kind of interesting take. Very different. And they just have, like, just enough armor as well, I feel. There is a small gap here that could easily be exploited as well. It's just, I don't think Mordor have anything left besides archers to really commit here. Isengard is looking to cut their way through, but I just, again, don't think they have the numbers. I mean, the balance of power is heavily in their favor still. I mean, I get the crossbows. Oh, yeah, the crossbows are going to be so valuable. And that's exactly why this unit of dismounted Talon Knights is having to charge out at the crossbows. However, it's going to leave them extremely vulnerable, and this unit of Berserkers is going to descend upon them, trying to take them out as quickly as possible.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
And now archers can maneuver their way around. The infantry can go in. Where's the cavalry as well for Dol Amroth? Where did it go? It went back around here, probably to try and hit these missiles. But yeah, immediately you see these crossbows moving up. Now the cavalry is coming back again to try and, I assume, hit these guys. But these crossbows are going to look to try and get a volley or two in the back of these dismounted Talon Knights. It'll be completely worth it. Here we go. We're going to form up here. Probably shoot these knights in the back. Oh no, there. This bowman, and they're looking to kill them swords. Cavalry though, the Talon Knights are so close to coming around this corner. One or two volleys. If they get this volley off, it's going to be deadly. Shoot, 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 shoot. No. Oh, that was so close, and I really liked the way they were trying to do that. But yeah, these orcs are slaughtered now. Nothing they can really do. And the Berserkers have demolished these dismounted Talon Knights. I guess with the help of the archer fire and the crossbows, the Berserkers have absolutely slaughtered these guys. They are receiving a lot of arrow fire themselves and obviously no armor to really protect them. The cavalry is also going in. This is a big move because there is a lot of infantry, and yeah, the Dol Amroth cavalry is just going to simply fall back and rear charge through, break the ranks, and then continue going on. But again, they leave themselves vulnerable to missile fire. The thing is, they would love just to charge these missiles, but they just can't effectively do it because of all the infantry around here. They'd get bogged down and killed. They're going to go for it, though. Oh, yeah, they're going to go for it. I think this is a dangerous move because it just kind of gets them, they lose a lot of men as they do it and gets them like really slowed up. The Orcs seem like they're kind of winning this fight now, honestly, as well. They're just breaking down. Dol Amroth just don't have enough men. I think the Forces of Evil may end up securing this. Even if the cavalry is running amok in the background, their general is going to break pretty soon. And then once their general breaks, it's all over. It really, really is. Another artillery round coming in. Yeah, it's just not enough men. The enemy general is dead now. That's going to have a big shock on morale, especially probably up here more than anything else, where the infantry is very low. Archers are being brought round the back of the infantry. Do these guys have ammunition? These guys have ammunition as well, so they can just start shooting away at the spearmen back there. And I think this day the white walls will be tainted with blood. Oh, the gate is also already being taken. Somehow this artillery crew got in here to try and take the gates. That would have been hilarious. I mean, luckily the Dol Amroth infantry did find this and they're going to deal with it. But even still, that was almost extremely lucky. To secure the gates, you could have maybe pulled some infantry through there and helped take the towers and stuff. The Isengard infantry completely surrounding these brave men. And what a fitting place for them to die in the graveyard of this city. A fitting place indeed for these battles to be held. I'm surprised that no more, because now the cavalry's been killed. I think they're doing it as I say that. This is why I love it. This is why I love the battles from these guys, because I say tactics and then it literally happens immediately as I say. I was like, I'm surprised that these guys aren't being thrown through the gap now that there's no cavalry, and I think that's immediately what's happening now, is they are being brought through this gap to help just finish off this infantry. It's actually kind of uncanny. It's almost as if it's like this is live and I'm telling them. I mean, you can tell it's not live, but the pikemen are actually being repelled by this unit of seaward spears, or swords. Spears? They are fighting pikemen now. They actually managed to like turn the battle lines on their head almost. The archers have made their way up, and the archers are going to be getting caught out, but I believe these are both Uruk units, right? Yeah, Uruk archers on both of these, so they should be able to hold their own. They are heavily armoured bowmen. And the infantry is just slowly moving on with dismounted Talon Knights. Their fate will be met this day. There we go, guys. The ending of the battle wasn't that exciting, so I thought I'd just skip ahead. It was basically just, kind of like the rest of the men of Dol Amroth getting surrounded and shot down to death. But overall, that was an amazing battle from start to finish. I loved the way that the wall got destroyed by the Sappers. It was really cool. The map is awesome. And I think the map just facilitates some really epic battles. So, yeah, big thank you to Canary Boy and TNZ and Smokey for sending this in. They always send me in such great battles, and, I'd love for them to send me in battles every single day if that was possible. They do such great ones. I'm hoping they're going to send me in some Seven Kingdoms as well, as Game of Thrones is just around the corner, which will be great. Maybe we can do like the Siege of Winterfell and stuff and recreate battles from the series, because yeah, it's only 2 weeks away now. Pump. But yeah, if we take a look at the Mordor kills, 200 kills on their generals, pretty goddamn decent. Anything over 200 kills is kind of a win in my book. These Orc pillagers as well, getting pretty close. Over on Isengard, the Berserkers seemed like they should have got more kills, but really it came down to these Mordor bow rabble. They got 400 kills, that's insane. Then finally for Dol Amroth, we can see their Rangers with almost 400 kills, and this one having 260. The rest of their archers as well getting a ton of kills. So yeah, it's really just their archers which slaughtered the enemy. So pretty impressive there. So if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification if you are subscribed already, because without it, your subscription is basically meaningless. Unfortunately, that's just the way YouTube works. But yeah, cool. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one.